Next up, we have 1220.
Perfect. I will jump on in. Thank you, Megan. Justin, can you see my screen okay?
Yep, absolutely.
Perfect. Okay, so hi, everybody. Know a ton of familiar faces on the line today, so super excited to be here and love working with MBA CSEA. So Megan, thank you for having us. My name is Bailey, for those that don't know, and this is my colleague Justin, and we're the business school specialists over here at 1220. Super excited to have just a little short amount of time that we can share with you just some of the things that make 1220 who we are, some of the differentiating factors, and hopefully we can continue the conversation. And I think that really just starts with who our partners are, and that's from the university side as well as the employer side of our business. So we work with business schools all across the globe. And for those that I haven't been able to meet, we're really excited to get to know you and talk about what we can offer as far as helping kind of revolutionize your workflow in the career services space. So we work with, Dartmouth Tuck, Harvard Business School, London Business School, Oxford Syed, Imperial, UCLA Anderson. We just brought on USC Marshall, quite a few other partners that I can't announce yet. But, we work with small, large, public, private, all across the globe, and everybody has made us better. So we've been around for 11 plus years now. And that means that our depth of relationship with our employers is really unparalleled. So we actually did an audit of our job postings right in the middle of the pandemic in August. And we found that we had more job postings for our business school students during the pandemic than we even had the year before. So the quality of those relationships, the depth, and the amount of jobs that are being presented, both on the internship level as well as post-grad, is something that we're really proud of, and we're deepening those relationships. We are as modern and intuitive as it comes. The goal is that everybody is on their phones, so are we. So everything needs to be accessible, easy to use, and doesn't limit functionality. So, we're data nerds here at 1220, and we want you to be able to utilize the system whenever you want. And that goes for your students and your employers as well. So that is very, very important to us. Highly configurable. 10 years ago, I couldn't say this. And now I'm very, very happy in the last 4 years or so, this has been completely revolutionized at 1220. We know that every business school does not do things the same way. And even when you're running reports, this can be really anything across the system. CV books, your events, virtual career fairs, appointments, your outcomes, if you want to do different slicing and dicing of data that way. We want you to be able to pull in the data that you think is important, turn things on and off, make things visible for certain people and not, as you see fit. So we have an attribute GUI, is what we call it, where you can go in the back end and very, very easily create your own pick lists, questions, satisfaction, things for your students to be able to answer for you so that you can run really in-depth, important reports that you guys see fit. So this is an example of that. System integrations, I feel like this question always comes up. A few things that are super important. Single sign-on. This is for your students, your administrators, even your alumni, which I know can be a headache in some of the other systems. Our REST API that will allow you to virtually connect to any database or other software you have on campus. We like to think that we will be everything that you need, but I'm sure that there's some things that you are all utilizing and you want to be able to share that data to and from. And also our two-way sync. So when it comes to calendaring your events, your appointments, being able to have that seamlessly connect from 1220 to your Outlook, let's say, and also from Outlook to 1220 to help streamline that experience. Now, what do we do? I'm going to give you a high level view of this, and then I'm going to jump into just a couple of examples that I believe set us apart really well in the industry. So we have expanded our offerings a ton. Not only that, our functionality in general, especially through the pandemic, we have completely virtually integrated now, which is fantastic, and only building upon that for anticipation of probably hybrid, full in-person, and also full remote experiences. So we are the Student Career Services platform. This is going to be everything that you and your students need to run the day-to-day events, interviews, your job postings, your career fairs, as I mentioned, networking nights. These can be 2-day, they can be multi-school events. And then we have the appointments and so on. Outcome and data analytics. This is what I want to touch upon today a little bit. This is going to be your student first destination outcome collection and the reporting that comes along with that. The employer relationship management, massive differentiating factor when folks come over from any other system. We want you to have a CRM that makes it easy for you to track your employer relationships, as well as allow your students to do some research on them as well. So more integration, more engagement all across the board, and happier people. So those are kind of the three that encapsulate that single technology solution. As you see on the bottom, we also have an alumni suite of products. So if that's of interest to you, I feel like this is top of mind for really everybody right now, let us know, and Justin and I would be happy to tell you more about that. But for this conversation, I'm just going to highlight a few things from the outcome and data analytics side of the platform. So we have the survey, we have dynamic reporting that is just best in class, and we have a research tool suite that says we already have this data anyway. Why not give it back to your students so that they can use it for their data pining in looking for new positions. So for the outcome survey, this is just a quick example of what this looks like. Few things to say. We have autofill technology so that your data is really clean and you're not having to do cleanup in Excel spreadsheets. We also have inferred industry pick lists so that your students aren't having to choose between a list of 80. And then we have things like compensation. So currency, having your students be able to tell you what currency they're receiving their compensation helps everybody so that you're not having to run reports, do any of those exchanges on your own. Our algorithm will do that for you. We also have the customizable attribute creation, as I mentioned before. So things like satisfaction. How well did your degree prepare you for this position? Something important to note is we know the difference between your full-time MBAs, your specialty masters, your working professionals. You want everybody to have a different survey, not only for MBA CSEA reporting, but just because it's applicable to the student. So autofill, skip logic, all of that, of course, so your students feel like they're not being spammed with the same questions. This is all happening in the system so that you can run the reports that you want to run. An example might be mean base salary by industry. We have data visualization tools. We've also added considerable layers on top of this. Gender, to look at salary comparisons by gender is a big conversation right now. UCLA Anderson actually ran this report, saw a discrepancy in what the male and female students were making directly out of the program, told the female students, said this is what your male counterparts are making, so that they could have that negotiation power and be able to raise that. And they've actually completely shut that gender wage gap and say that's because of us. So that's something we like to tell. We also have public access. This allows you to make your reports public. So what that will do is with this unique URL link, you can share this out. And for folks that don't have a login to 12Twenty, they can actually see this information. So this, you might want to create a Dean's dashboard, embed this directly into your website, brag about hiring partners. It basically gives you access to your data so that you can share it with whomever you want. We are FERPA compliant, GDPR compliant, and like other systems, we do not own your data. This is your data. We're just helping give you resources to be able to view it in a different way. We have worked with MBA CSEA Standards Committee for a very long time to help you with your single click MBA CSEA reporting. And as you can see, the system is set with full-time, part-time, specialty masters, and all of those are going to be out of the box, but can be as customizable as you want to make them for those different populations. We also have things like real-time, point-in-time outcome reporting. So I guess first question is always, hey, Lisa, how are we doing on outcome reporting? Okay, Dean, we have 74% that have responded already. And the second question is always, how does that compare to this time last year? So we've built systems or reports in the system that you don't even have to, because we know that they're frequently run. And this is an example of that. Let's compare the last 3 years at this point in time and where are we at as far as outcome reporting is concerned. Now, we have certainly not gone over all of the reporting functionality, just trying to give you some snippets so that you see what we do. But another element of that is the research tool suite, which we give back to your students. So this generally happens where one person has the custom reports, or the outcome collection process. They get that ready for MBA CSEA, it gets sent off, and really it doesn't get back to your students. So because you have this data set, it's the richest data set you can offer them, why not give it back to them in a way that's more palatable? When are offers coming in? Which employers are hiring most in which industries? And if you have your alumni in the system, you can see, do they stay in those industries? We have 100% of those that graduate in finance, in 5 years, half of them are in technology. So the way that we're looking at the trends of the industries salaries is really what the research tool suite is going to offer. One thing I'll highlight, and then we'll close up for today, is our salary database. I'm going into consulting. I have no idea what to expect when it comes to salaries. Maybe I'm needing to be equipped with negotiation power. So I can go in this as a student, click consulting, and find that the average salary out of 647 offers from the Burns School of Business is $134,000. It's fantastic to know. You can add employers on top of this, countries on top of this. You can search by a number of different attributes to make this data set what you want to see, and even for your international students as well. So as we look at recommended attributes, we can also expand, as I mentioned. We can see the data as far as employer, job title, industry, experience, location. So your students can actually see who it is they should be focused on, which relationships are the richest in their particular university. And then on top of that, we've built something out called the Data Sharing Network. And this is probably the most, one of the top 5 things that set 1220 apart. Maybe you have students that want to go into agriculture in San Francisco, and you do not have a lot of students that have graduated within that kind of subset of those attributes. You can actually expand your data set to the entire data sharing network of 1220. We have hundreds and hundreds of partners all over the world, which contribute anonymously to this data set. So you can say, I want to look at all of Europe. I want to look at all of UK. I want to look at all of Canada, US, and say, what does that look like? And how does that change the data set? So very, very wonderful, rich data that 99% of our partners do participate in. So want to end there. Megan, I think I'm on time. We're super excited to chat with you. Everybody does things differently. Because of the offerings of 1220, it's always hard to do these kind of 15-minute conversations, but we do serve kind of as that single technology solution for many of the folks that we're working with. So whether it's that or anything else, let us know if you have any questions. You can reach us at partnerships@1220.com or ping Jess and I anytime throughout the conference. But yeah, really appreciate your time today, and I'll end there. Thanks so much, Megan.
Thank you.